Welcome back. So the next important subject are positional parameters, and these are actually passed from the command line. The following are the positional parameters. So this is what you see on the screen, the sort of script that I have written for you. So you can go ahead and slowly start rewriting it, but you don't actually need to rewrite the whole thing like immediately. It's a lot easier to just declare this variable up here, create the first if statement, and then copy paste this if statement down below because they're really all the same up to number 9. You copy paste things by selecting them with your mouse and then Control Shift C to copy. Go into the insert mode, go down, Control Shift V. You see, it pastes it. This is not in Linux in general. I mean, in a text editor, something like that, with GUI, you would just press Control C, but in terminal you have to press Control Shift C and Control Shift V. Because Control C is a universal interrupt. So whatever is running in the terminal in the foreground, you just press Control C to stop it. For example, if I start htop and you see it's running, and if I press Control C, it will terminate the process immediately. That's why we cannot use Control C to copy things, but rather instead we need to use Control Shift C. Anyway, as I was saying, declare a variable called min, so some sort of I want to represent some sort of a minimum, just a symbolic name for it, and then create this first if loop, which we will use, and then copy paste it down below. You need to change this variable here, and you need to change this here. I don't like it that I've written first, so let's just change this. Let's just change it together. So you write the first statement, and then you type in first one is, and then $1. I'll explain what the $sign is in a moment. Second one is. Third one is. I have a bad feeling I have misspelled some of these, so I shall save myself some embarrassment and at least type them in a proper fashion. Now you see they're all the same. There is pretty much no difference. The formula, the format is the same except for the certain things within them which you change the values, the variables. Sorry, 5th, 6th. And this one shall be 5th. There is a reason why I went to 9. It's because the arguments that you pass on the command line up to 9 are accepted are defined here in one way, and then after 9 they are defined in a different way. So I'll show you that in a moment. Let me just go ahead and fix this. 8th and 9th. My spelling is so awesome. And 10th. Okay, let's put it like that. Much better. Anyway, you write this if statement. You copy paste it up to 9, and the 10th one will be a little bit different. So you can go ahead and do that now. And while you're doing it, we can start disassembling this code and see what it all means. Notice that the script is a little bit bigger than the ones that we had before, and the scripts will at a certain point of time get like pretty big. So in this if statement, -n tests whether or not this parameter here has been specified. If it is empty, it will return false. It will return true if it is not empty. So what is this parameter? What is this $1? Well, notice how when we write the cd command, change directory command, we pass an argument to it. It goes like this, home, and then we specify some path, or we don't have to go into home, we can go into bin, and then we press enter, and then the change directory command executes, but it takes this argument into consideration. It represents something to this command, because this command would be pretty much useless without the arguments passed to it. It would do anything significant. Let's just go home. it wouldn't do anything significant without the arguments, and that is what I'm trying to teach you. So this is the first argument to the command, to the script. This is the second argument. This is the third argument, etc. And they keep on going. And we need to actually test whether they have been passed or not. And -n tests has the argument been passed or not. We have designed the script so that it needs to accept 10 arguments in order to function properly. And we go down, this is all the same. And we go down to number 10. And for if the amount of arguments that is passed to a certain script is greater than 10, then they need to be represented like this. You see? $, curly brackets, and then 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, etc. It goes on and on and on. Keep that in mind. Okay, so down below the 10th one, that is why I went to the 10th one, because at that point of time, they start becoming a little bit different. And down below, I said echo list of arguments. So this here, quotation marks, $, asterisk, will list all the arguments that we have stated above. And down below, I have stated echo name of the script. Now we would like to output the name of the script. $0 represents the name of the script. Can anybody tell me what the name of the script is? Just think about it for a moment. I will show you rather fast. Now I have an escape character and then the quotation mark again, $0. I've told you what the $0 represents. Quotation mark, escape symbol, quotation mark, quotation mark. Now, what I would like you to do is to take this line into consideration and try to imagine and visualize what it is that will be printed out onto the screen. Why have I placed it so? Because I really need only these two quotation marks and $0, and I need the last one to close the first one. But why do I have these two extra quotation marks here with escape chars? And down below, this symbol here, it will, in essence, represent the, it will check if the number of arguments passed is, well, the entire statement will check if the number of arguments passed is less than 10, but the $ hash is the total number of passed arguments. So this will represents the total number of passed arguments, then you have lesser than, and then you have our min variable, which is 10. So if this is true, if it's less than the minimum amount of arguments that we have specified, we will echo out not enough arguments, need 10 to run. I know I have such innovative way of writing, the simplest, purest form of writing. I mean, basically like a hammer on the nail, even though I cannot relate this analogy to this situation, but I just felt like saying it. Anyway, so hopefully now you understand the entirety of the script and what it does. Now let me show you how is it that it is ran. So we do ./first, and now we're going to pass a list of arguments. These arguments can be pretty much anything. I will type I'll just start from left to right. So it's going to be Q, W, E, R, T, Z, U, I, O. I think this should be 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And here you go. So first one is Q, second one is W, third one is E, etc. And it goes on all the way down to 10. And now we have a list of arguments which is printed into one line, so we can see what arguments we actually passed. And then it says name of the script, and it's printed out in quotation marks. That is why I have the escape characters here and here, along with the extra quote marks, so that the quote marks would actually be printed out here when I output the name of this particular script. So simple as that, no big deal. Hopefully you can understand without bigger difficulties. And I shall see you all in the next tutorial, hopefully.